Alright, so Dragon Ball Heroes Edition Extreme Sea Battle. I'm very hyped for this actually. Like legit, the Dragon Ball Heroes are my favorite units in the game. So we're gonna go ahead and try and do this. I have a theme prepared. I don't need to come up with anything. So let's go with Super Saiyan God Trunks, and then this is the one. I mean, it's essentially like Super Saiyan 4's Pan and Trunks. So it isn't like groundbreaking, but who cares, dude? Like, if it works, it works. And it's just like, fuck it. If it works, it works. So we go against Stoa first. Oh man, I wanted to see Trunks, but it's alright. I've been having a lot of fun using these units, honestly. Like, legit, this is, to me, this is the best celebration in Dokkan. Having a guaranteed SSR every single time that you summon is like the greatest thing ever. So with me, but with Super Saiyan trees, yo. There you go. Yeah, I just don't have many, or I do have like a couple new Super Saiyan trees that I got by doing these summons. That was easy, by the way. But I need to invest the Kais and the orbs in them, and I have not done it yet. So to me, I'm just I was present when the Super Saiyan 4s dropped. This is why I have them. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, dude. I'm gonna use them. You know, I pulled them. Might as well put some use to it. But like, this is a great rotation because you have Trunks, Pan, and another Trunks, which means that Towa is dead essentially. But you know, whatever works, it works. I really cannot wait to see how good the SS for the Dragon Ball Heroes things are. But yeah, I'm very high for that, honestly. Then like, there you go. That was easy as fuck. Many people were shitting on Trunks when he released. I must be honest, I bet that they have their reasons to like shit on Trunks. I'm happy that he got a card, and I'm really happy to be playing with it. Is he the greatest unit to have dropped on planet Earth? Probably not. Do I care about that? Probably not. I'm just like, I'm vibing with it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. And yeah, it's like, I'm not gonna complain constantly about a character that I like getting like a 55% unit that can do 3 million damage on turn 1. But that's just me, and I'm sure that somebody in the world is gonna be like, nah, fuck you, dude, like, you have to shit on it because he's just doing 4 million damage right now. I'm like, nah, you know, maybe one day they can drop an LR that transforms into the god form. I see that and also he can get an ESA. So like, the thing is, the celebrations for Dragon Ball Heroes are gonna just keep getting better and as time goes on. So I'm just really happy. But then again, like, you know, I'm also very happy to see ESAs for Super Saiyan 3s. Okay, let's go. And again, this should be super easy. But yeah, like, I'm just happy that perhaps Vegito can get an ESA eventually, maybe even next year, because next year is gonna be the Dokkan Awakenings for the Super Saiyan 4s. And again, like, to me, this is the best celebration, like, in Dokkan. No, other than the anniversary and yes, the worldwide celebration, though sometimes the worldwide celebration can be a little bit shaky depending on how they're feeling. Like, you know, last year's was just the banners that were fire and then nothing else, and this year's was like everything was fired, you know, so it can be hit or miss. But like, apart from the anniversary, like, pulling on Super Dragon Ball Heroes is the greatest thing. Are there any other Dragon Ball gacha games? Yes, there are indeed. The one that I can think of right now is okay, hold on, is Dragon Ball Legends, but I don't play it, dude. Yeah, Legends to me stinks. Like, to me, I don't like it. It is PvP. A PvP gacha game is never a good idea. But then, like, you know, the meta just keeps changing, and it feels very free-to-play, like, against free-to-play. It's very hard to catch up on what's happening there. And the you know, the community, like, to me, it's very difficult to catch up and do PvP in that shit. Like, you know, I tried it. Don't get me wrong, I did try it. It was fun at first, and the story is great. But like everything else just was kind of meh. But yeah, that one, I guess, is the one that that can come to mind. I really don't know. I wish I knew, honestly. But Dragon Ball Heroes, I don't know if it counts as a gacha or something. I know that it's only available in Asia. But Dragon Ball Heroes, I think that has to do with cards, and it's an arcade machine and stuff like that. I don't know if you could consider that as a gacha, right? But like, I know that it exists, and yeah, that, you know, it's another game, another Dragon Ball game that could be seen as that, but I don't know. But yeah, Legends does exist, but I'ma leave it alone. I'll leave it alone and I'll let it be. Because I don't like it. There is a Dragon Ball card game in the US right now. Oh, I think every time that I open Dokkan, it tells me that there's an announcement in the banner, the little banner that is down there, that is like yeah, there's a new Dragon Ball card game, and they're dropping cards and stuff like that. I think it's cool, but I'm not from the US, and exporting them will be like very, very costly, so I cannot play it. I used to, by the way, this is extremely easy with God Trunks. This is incredible. I used to play a bootleg game of Dragon Ball when I was a kid, and that's when I realized I was gonna have issues like with gambling, because because essentially when I was a kid I would waste, like, I was 7 and I would be given money, but the money I didn't really need it, because when I was a kid I just only went to school for like what, fucking 4 hours. So like I didn't need to buy like food in school or something like that, because, you know, it was primary school, and it's a third world country, so they don't, you know, care if you learn or not, and you know, school teachers are kind of shitty. So anyway, like, you know, 4 hours of school. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be jealous, dude. Like, honestly, it was bad. I needed to learn properly. I don't know how I made it, but the point is, like, since I had the money, I just went ahead and I was like, you know what, dude, fuck it, I'm gonna spend everything on Dragon Ball cards. And Dragon Ball cards, Duel Masters cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards. What was it? What else did I buy? What else was I into? I don't know, like every little card that I could buy, I would go ahead and buy. And legit, I would be giving like 12,000 colones. 12,000, I wish. 2,000 colones, which was around $4 for USD. But that allowed me to buy like something stupid, like 60 packs every single week. And I was super hyped about it. And I bought them, and they were super shitty as well. Like, they were bootlegs, right? So they looked like hell. Like, Goku looked, I don't fucking know, like, he looked so fucking weird. And they were just like, you know, PNGs from the anime. From an 80s anime in the 2000s. You can guess how that shit looked. But it was really fun. You know, that if I lived in the US, I would probably be buying them. I will also be one of those dudes who is buying like Pokemon cards like crazy. Like, you know, like like in the pandemic, there were so many issues about that. Like, people are trying to buy Pokemon cards, and since collectors got to them, then the kids cannot buy them anymore. And it's like, you know, parents are like, dude, like, you know, my kids want to buy these cards. Can I can I buy them, because like it's for a birthday gift? And they're like, the vendors are like, yeah, it's $100 per pack. They're like, but why the fuck? And it's because that there's an outage of cards. You know, demand doesn't meet like the inventory that we have, and it's because the collectors are buying them like crazy, and they're like, oh, okay, so that's cool. So there is no birthday for you, Tini. And then, like, yeah, Timmy can go fuck itself, essentially. Also, yes, Timmy from in real life, the strawman that I just created, but also the one from Genshin, because he loves his pigeons for some reason, and I don't like that. I think that's sus. 4 hours of school. Yes, I used to have 4 hours of school, but sometimes even less. In primary school, instead of like giving us an extra hour of music, economics, I don't fucking know, like psychology or stuff like that. Here, they give out an hour of religious studies in every school. I wish I was joking, but this is the truth. They wanted to teach me how to be like a good, proper Catholic boy, right? And my family is religious, but not in that sense. Primary school never has electives, I think. I actually had an hour of music, and an hour of physical education, and an hour of religious studies. But yeah, I wasn't able to choose, but they are able to create a program. And for some reason, they thought, and they still think, that an hour of religious studies is like better than psychology, right? So like, there you go. So I was there. I had to be there, 1 hour a day to learn religious studies, or I could send a letter that said, I do not believe in Catholicism, and I want to be free from this lesson, right? And take one less test. So my parents sent the letter because they believe in, God and stuff like that, which I also I do believe in God and so on, but not the same one. And I don't want to get myself too into it, because I know that it's a difficult issue. It's a difficult topic to touch upon. Some people can take it seriously, and then all of a sudden I'm cancelled. But the point is, but you cannot cancel me if I never actually like make it. So yeah, the point is, my parents sent the letter because they were like, we will take care of your religious education at home, and look at how that turned out, right? But like they were like, we'll take care of it, and I was able to skip an hour a day, every week. So, well, no, an hour every week is more like it. I know that I mentioned it weird. So what I would do is I would get along with somebody who also had, parents who wanted to take care of their religious studies at home. And we would, come home and play the WWF games on the PS1. and and it was fire. I really cannot, that's something I just got sent home. And my friend didn't want to go home. So I was like, dude, do you want to go play, like, on my PlayStation? And he was like, dude, yeah. And like legit, they were like, okay, so you are 7 years old. Let me go ahead and open the doors of the school, the gates of the school, and let you walk home alone. And yeah, do whatever you want. I really cannot explain the logic behind it. I really cannot explain the logic behind giving, religious studies education in primary school, in a public school, in like, this is given around the whole country, right? I'm not one of those kids who went to private school. So like, this is for real something that was happening for everybody. This is a general like culture stuff. And don't ask me why it happens. I just like, it happened that way. But yeah, I just got sent home, and I was like 7 years old, 8 years old, and 7 to 12, I was allowed to just go home. Like, oh, you have an hour like free, just let me open the gates and let me go and make it like, I will go ahead and play video games. And the funny thing is, like, the video games that we played, were seen as the devil incarnate in the eyes of the church and so on, because he was like people fighting each other. Like, we're playing Dragon Ball, and Dragon Ball is the devil. And if you look at the eyes of Goku, then like, right, then when he does the Kamehameha, that means that he's invoking the devil. The video games, it was just the normal shit. I have an interesting story, kinda. Well, not exactly interesting, I don't know. I should really just do one day like a big just chatting session about like what is it to be born and raised in Costa Rica, rather than what people think, because people think in Costa Rica and they think in people surfing, and there's these hot guys surfing and like the beach and the pura vida lifestyle. I'm like, yeah. I don't know about that. But anyway, like the video games were like Dragon Ball, the WWF games that was like wrestling, you know, and that was violent. So, you know, God don't go, no, like there's a hot woman fighting another hot woman. That is like, oh no, right? And there's a dude with no shirt fighting another dude with no shirt. What would we do? Right? Like, yeah, that sort of reaction. And no, I have two stories. Number one, I said that I used to buy Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Those cards were burned down by my mom because she thought that the demons that we were summoning were real, right? So if I was like, I summoned the Dark Magician, my mom was like, ah! Right? Like, you're summoning dark magic into our household, right? And I was like, but look at how cool he looks, right? Like, I was like, look at how cool, like, he wears purple and he uses the staff, right? Like, that's cool as fuck. She was like, no, let me go ahead and burn. Like, she legit, this is no exaggeration, this legit happened. She legit took them to the patio, like the backyard, put them all together and burned them down. And I was not allowed, I bought them, and I was not allowed to buy those anymore. I was like, okay, well, there you go. So my cards have been burned down to hell, because apparently that's where they belong. But then the other story that I had was like, I used to be a huge SpongeBob fan when I was a kid, right? And even today, I think that it's funny and it's super cool and I like it. I've had this conversation before with other viewers, with Bianca specifically, that I'm like, you know, all cartoons are fucking fun and will never get old, right? So the point is, right, and this is also what I like playing Dokkan, when I have somebody to talk to, because I go ahead and go off. And I'm sorry if you want me to comment on the game, but like we're killing everybody in one shot, so I don't know what to tell. There's no strategy, it's just vibes. So the Sailor Mouth episode? No, not even that. No. The Sailor Mouth episode is funny and amazing. It's the fact that I used to wear a SpongeBob shirt. And SpongeBob, it was super cool. He was wearing, you know, his normal stuff, but he had a spatula, you know, the thing that he uses to flip burgers, and he looked like this. He looked really happy and cool. And like the whole everything with SpongeBob, right? Like, you could see it. So, like, again, when you're a kid, you have to do what people tell you to do. Like what your parents tell you to do. So I will wear my SpongeBob shirt to go to church. And then all of a sudden, you know, I was at church sitting in just sitting, watching whatever was happening, right? Now I was respectful about it, because of course, right? And then like I'm there, and I'm wearing my, like, it was huge. Like, again, SpongeBob was everything in my body, right? So like, a lady just all of a sudden stood up. And I'm you know, we look around, and she starts asking for a mic, right? It looked like a fucking promo in the WWE, right? Like, they'll give me a mic, I want to cut a promo on this motherfucker, right? And I'm like, everybody's looking at her. We're like, okay, all right. Let's see what the hell is happening. Why does she want to talk? Why does she want to speak? Then she starts saying, there is a way in which the devil is corroding our youth and corroding the bodies and minds of our kids, and it is through a cartoon. And this cartoon, and you can guess where I'm going with this, right? This cartoon is about a sponge in the sea, and it has friends like a pink starfish and a squid and a squirrel, and they all represent a capital sin. Like, the crab represents being greedy, and SpongeBob represents lust. I was like, what? Excuse me, what? And she was like, avoid at all cost that your kids watch that cartoon. Like, and now I was in the middle of church with my gigantic SpongeBob in the middle of my body, right? And I felt like shit, because I was a kid, right? I didn't know that the lady was crazy. It was hard for me to tell who was crazy and who was not. And she was like, yeah, because I don't understand how SpongeBob represents loss. Apparently, like, what happened was that she watched the episode in which SpongeBob and Patrick adopt a bird, like a clam or whatever. and SpongeBob dresses like a lady, and she was like, "Oh, I can have that, right?" So she was like, "They represent, like, you know, Patrick represents love, and Squidward, I don't know what it represents, but apparently he's bad as well, and." It's the Squirtle Sandy is a bad person because she goes against God by creating science, and SpongeBob and Patrick are gay, and apparently that's right. Like, oh my god, right? And in that time, in the 2000s, and I was looking at it, and I'm like, that makes no sense. What? And I was like 9 years old, wearing my shirt, and I was very proud of this shirt. I was like, that makes no fucking sense. But my parents bought it, so. You can assume who was left without his favorite shirt in a matter of days. And I was like, bro, these people are insane. Like, honestly, like yeah, like, with all due respect to everybody, and with all due respect to their beliefs, like, they're cartoons. It was a gag. It was a joke. Like, Patrick and SpongeBob are not a couple, and even if they were, who the fuck cares? But like yeah, right? Like, I was almost crucified that day in the Littles, because we had a section of going to learn with other kids your age. And I was almost crucified when I entered, because, oh my god, he's wearing a SpongeBob shirt. Look at him. He represents a scene. I don't even know what SpongeBob represents. And why does he represent loss? How does he represent loss? I can look up SpongeBob and Patrick, and I can send it to chat. SpongeBob and Patrick, wife and husband and wife. Hold on. Oh man, I want to husband and wife. If I can, because I've shown you before, like the based the based body mount episode. So I can show you. Oh man, I'm trying. Baby Clam episode. Okay, hold on. Okay, so it's called, for everybody who wants to look it up, it's called Rockabye Bible. There you go. So you can look it up. It's apparently about like SpongeBob and Patrick being like, you know, parents of a baby clam, and that was enough to make like a whole church very, very upset. And I was in the middle of the war, and I you know, I was a casualty essentially. Oh man, it's so good to talk about Dragon Ball, to talk about SpongeBob when I'm playing a Dragon Ball. You know, whatever, dude. Like, come on, let's just be honest. We're just doing this to show the thing that we're using, but also to get these stones. Like, come on. Like, yeah, here you go. Okay, let me comment. Like, here comes Trunks, and he's doing familiar damage, and against an int character, and he crit it, so there you go. Like, you know, Int Gohan is dead. Yeah, you know, I'm sorry, but there's not much to tell. I'm just like, I'm vibing, dude. But yeah, like, there you go. That's you know, childhood stories with JD about like SpongeBob being gay apparently, and that being like such a terrible thing, and blah blah blah. I look at the bottom of the wiki article and it says kiss many times. I think that's wonderful, but also I think they never actually kissed in the episode. Like SpongeBob and Patrick kissing, that never happened. I think, if I remember correctly. What happened was that they adopted a baby clam, and that they were like, okay, let's play as if we were a family. So that the baby clam is actually like, is born and raised in a very natural way. And Patrick was like, okay, I want to be the father. And SpongeBob was like, alright, then I'll be the mother. So Patrick was going to work while SpongeBob stayed at home, because that's the thing that they were playing around, right? That's not how it works. That's not how we should work unless they both agree on it. But whatever. And they were like, okay, well, you know, I'll play around. But SpongeBob took it like to the limit because he started dressing like a girl. And I thought that it was funny. It was a gag. And the gag was also that Patrick had a job, but not really, because when he went to do his job, his job was going to his home and watching television all day, right? And that was like, you know, that was the gag, and it was as simple as that. And then when you know, like, you know, people decided to overthink it, and you know, who the fuck cares? Is all I'm saying. Like, yeah, he dressed like a girl once, and yeah. Like, I don't see an issue, but like, you know, somebody at the church that I went decided to see it as an issue, and now all of a sudden, like, my shirt was cancelled and so was I. But no, they never actually kissed. I think that you can look up things, you know, maybe in Dailymotion you can find it and pirate it. And honestly, I don't give a fuck, like, if you want to pirate it or whatever. Getting cancelled in real life in a church by your parents, and a very noisy lady, for a shirt. Like, yeah, that's how that went down. I don't know what to tell. Like, yeah, Dragon Ball could also get me cancelled. The only thing that avoided me getting cancelled because of Dragon Ball was that my dad watched it with me. So, like, you know, my mother was like, "You're not allowed to watch Dragon Ball," and I was like, "Yes, I am, dude, because my father is watching it." So, so no, the reality of the station, it was more like, "You're not allowed to watch it," and I was like, "But why is my dad watching it?" And they were like, "Ah, okay, well, you know, we'll let you watch it because your father is watching it," and they allowed me to. Otherwise, I would have been bored without Dragon Ball. And then, like, what was it? Oh, they tried to cancel the WWE because it was too much violence. And I was like, well, I'm not that, you know, you're not in the risk of me going to school and applying a hold to, like, a kid, because I don't have the strength. I'm also, I was very like a pacifist when I was a kid. Like, legit, I was very calm. So I'm like, you know, I think you don't have to worry about that. But at the same time, back when I was watching it, it was like the ruthless aggression era. And that meant that there were many women, you know, doing a lot of different stuff to get attention. Or, you know, being told to do stuff. Now I understand that it was not a decision, which makes it fucked up. But, like, yeah, because I mean, WWE is better than SpongeBob, I guess. I mean, I would prefer, like, for them to not cancel anything. This soundtrack is amazing, by the way. Hell yeah, dude. All right. Anyway, yes, I do. I guess I understand, but I like. For example, let me put it in perspective. I was not allowed to watch Dragon Ball, and I was not allowed to watch the WWE, even though I did it anyway. But I was allowed to watch The Simpsons. Like, when I was 8. Like, do you not see the issue? That's what I'm saying. And why? Because my father watched it, and there was only one TV, and I didn't have a proper curfew, because, like, I guess, like, fuck me, I guess. So it was 9 p.m. and I was watching The Simpsons with my dad. But, like, cartoons made for children, no. Programming made for children, kind of made for children, made for teenagers, whatever. And that is interesting to me, nah. But, like, The Simpsons, yeah, like, sit down and watch it, dude. Like, come here, it's a family time. That's dumb, that's what I'm saying. Like, even back then, I was like, you know, I'm not allowed to watch it. And then, when I was, like, 11 or 12, I was legit watching shit like 2.5 Men, right? And you know, Warner programming and Fox programming. Like, it was, like, my morning cartoons. And, like, you know, this is what happens when I'm not allowed to watch. They wanted to cancel Courage the Cowardly Dog, dude. I was like, fuck. I was like, fuck off. and Billy and Mandy. I'm like, yeah, they were weird cartoons, but they're also like made for me and like good and funny and like what do you want me to do, right? But nah, like I'm allowed to watch The Simpsons, but not Dragon Ball. Like, yeah. I don't know. Like, you know, it's the way that shit happened. And I think I have many more stories to tell if I'm allowed to one day, to be like, yeah, you know what? Like, this used to happen at my house and not anymore, thankfully, because I became an adult and I'm able to do whatever I please. But like, yeah, right? Many things, you know. I guess that's also like, I'm not telling this because I'm resentful. I'm telling it more like because I've learned from those type of mistakes, and I'm like, if somehow, some way, for some reason, I decide to have children, I'm going to make sure that I have time to understand what's going through their minds, what they like, and so on, right? Rather than like being present but not really, and then also like letting myself go for what people are saying instead of like actually sitting down and watching what's happening on their screens, right? And also, I will not allow them to have access to the internet until they're like 15. I know it sounds crazy, but good God, the internet can be screwed up. And I think that I would be better off without knowing what the internet was until I was 15 or so, rather than being exposed so early to it. But no, I'm just speaking my mind right now. I know that it can change also. I feel like it's important to understand that, you know, your opinions can change and so on. You just gotta restrict access to the internet. I feel like even when you do it, well, yeah, I do agree with it sometimes.
Let's do this.
You know, yeah, and also trust them and so on. I guess I can be talked into it, but at this point in time, I'm just speaking my mind because that's what I have in it. But I'm sure that, you know, this is gonna come down to the situations in which I find myself if I ever do have a family, and God only knows with who. But like, yeah. But even now, like, you know, saying it out loud sounds ridiculous because I feel like that's in a very long-term situation. But yes, restricting it would have been like, you know, somebody restricting my shit would have been amazing back then. But yeah, it's tough. All right, come on, go and finish it. Like, so far we finished almost everything in like 1 and 2 turns. There you go. Alright, so look, this was easy as fuck. I really don't know what to tell you other than yeah, like, we're almost done. We only have one more. But yeah, you know, I guess I'll be careful with it, and I'll make sure that people who have access to the internet in my household have it restricted rather than allowed to watch shit that maybe they don't even want to watch, right? Like, you know, it can happen. And you know, be in contact with people who are not do not have the best intentions, right? You know, they have to learn eventually who to trust and who not to, because this idea of do not talk to strangers can lead to not making any friends also. So you have to be careful with it, and you have to understand like who really is to be trusted and who isn't. But yeah. Yeah, monitor what they're doing and so on. I feel like I would love to be present though, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't want to make that mistake that people made with me, that it was like, yeah, you know, just fuck it, dude. Right? Like, many people are jealous about it, and I'm like, nah, you know what? Actually, I would have liked for people to be present when I was doing my shit on the internet. And not because I was doing anything bad, but because, again, people are not. I wouldn't completely ban the internet. No, yeah, of course. You know, I guess I'm speaking out of my mind. I mean, alright, so I will not ban the internet, but I will not allow them to have a Ferrari until they are 22. And there you go. You know, we're speaking. All I'm saying is that we're speaking in a very hypothetical manner, because I don't think that is gonna happen anytime soon. And again, my opinion might change, and hopefully my situation will change, because like, yeah, it's not the time. And not the place, but yes. But anyways, yes, by the way, we're done with this. I wonder what people are gonna be thinking when they're looking for gameplay for Dokkan and they find me ranting my ass off. And yeah, that was extremely quick. No, but we have another one. We have to do this one. So it's gonna be an hour, like 30 minutes more of Dokkan on stream. But for now, I'm gonna finish the video. Yeah.